Hey Terrosphere! So this is something I've been waiting a while to do, mostly because I wanted to wait until I was feeling a little bit better, but that seems to be a long process and I don't want to hold it off anymore, because the further I get away from the reason for doing this, the further, like, it makes, the more it just makes me look like a jerk, and I don't want to look like a jerk anymore. So anyway, I was very lucky to win the Two of Owls did a giveaway video, and it was like one of those comment on this and then he'll like randomize the names, and then whoever gets to win a deck, and it was the first giveaway he has done, and I was very excited and I just felt very honored and lucky to have been the one to have won it. But it is the Oracle of Dr. John Dee. And I am super excited about this. Actually, while I've been kind of not laid up, but I haven't really been like, I haven't felt like myself lately, which means that there's been not a lot of reading going on, which is really sad. Oh my goodness, I just dropped a jar of peanut butter biscuits on the ground. Not a lot of reading and not a lot of, like, not a whole lot of much of anything, just basically like working and then going home and like just feeling crappy. But that has led to a lot of internet research time and YouTube videos. So I was actually very excited to have won this because I had never heard of Dr. John Dee before. And he's actually got a fascinating history. He's a prominent alchemist, scientist, astronomer, astrologer. He kind of ran in the same, like, not the same circles, but like he's kind of like one of those persecuted visionaries, I guess, would be a way to call it. Not so much like not like I wouldn't say he's like on terms with Galileo, who was just like, hey, guess what, the earth doesn't the sun doesn't revolve around the earth. But like, you know, this guy marched to the beat of his own drum, and he wound up jailed for it. And then a series of events happened, and then he became very prominent. So anyway, I suggest you look into it. I don't want to give you spoilers or anything like that, but he's a very fascinating guy, especially if you love English history. Which surprisingly my mom does. She'd actually heard of him, and I was really kind of considering how not far from the occult, but like how like no, that stuff kind of creeps me out, and how she is about it. Like I was just like, do you know who Dr. John Dee is? And she was like, oh yeah, I know who that is. So that was kind of, I think she's picked up on that name before. She reads a lot of like the historical fiction and nonfiction, so she's heard that name flying around before. But anyway, this is the Oracle of Dr. John Dee. I haven't even taken it out of the plastic wrap yet, Chase. Look at that. I did, however, learn from your shrink wrap struggle, and I cut it before before I filmed this video. So at least one of us will further the shrink wrap struggle cause. But anyway, I'm actually a chronic scissors forgetter for these kind of videos, so like really you're in good company. Anyway, let's go ahead and remove the plastic wrap from this bad Larry, because I'm super excited. By the way, you have no idea how hard it has been for me to not open this thing. I've had it for like 2 weeks now, I think, and I have just been like, oh, let me at it, because I've been wanting to make this video and do like a for reals first impressions that was like very first impression-y, and like an unboxing and just an appreciation and thank you video. But at the same time, I love getting my hot little hands on a brand new deck, so this has been very difficult. So first I will say the box is amazing. It's like a commercially packaged chipboard. It's Connections Book Publishing. This is actually my first deck by them, so it'll be interesting to see what their packaging is like. But it seems sturdy, like a basic laminated chipboard, and it's got like a nice white on the inside, and it is a fairly big cover, and it does have the cutouts. I think the cutouts are placed a little weird though, because usually you see them on like the long edge, but these are on the short edge of the packaging, so that's a little weird. Not that it's bad, but that's not where I would expect them to be, because I would open the box this way, like long ways, and this one, like, you need to like do both hands this way, so that is a little weird for me. Hello. Anywho, so there's the top. I'm going to set that aside. And I will be spending some quality time with this. This is the guide that comes with it. There is like some, it's not, I wouldn't say gilded is the proper word, but that is a metallic based ink, and this book is like it's laminated, obvi, because you can tell from the, ooh, there's some good stuff in here. Okay, you can tell from the glare that it's laminated, but this is full of good info. So you get the story of Dr. John Dee. There's obviously a preface and a chapter contents. Let's see. So you get the story of Dr. John Dee, and then you get an about the oracle. You get the cards and their meanings, obviously. And then you get working with the oracle. So it looks like you get spreads and stuff. Let me see. And I guess it's broken up into archetypes or archetypes. So it's not just like it's John Dee as the magus, as the alchemist, as the astronomer, as the astrologer, as the geographer, as the physician, and as the historian. So that's kind of neat that you get like him and his life's journey broken up into almost like its own little like type of arcana or suits. So let's see. And then as far as working with, oh yep, you get sample readings. Yep, here we go. Working with the oracle right here. Oh, and then you also get, I think that's the back of the card. Is that the back of the card? Oh yeah, it tells you about the back of the card as well. So that's really cool. It tells you what exactly the glyph on the back of the card means, which is really cool because a lot of the times you don't get that. Like you just get a picture on the back of the card with no explanation. So working with the oracle, you get, oh, what is this? This is, all right, so this is a poster of the spread, I think. Yep. Okay. So this is a spreadsheet. It's not quite a spread cloth, but it's really cool. It's printed with again a metallic ink and white. So it kind of, and then it shows you how to do the spread. And then I think there is more in here. So yep, it shows you how to do the spread with the sheet, and then it also has a the Enochian alphabet, which is cool because I've seen some of the glyphs and stuff from that flying around, but it translates it for you. Sorry, the glare is so bad. And then they have some meditations, and then they have some calls, which I believe are just like a way to invoke power or to meditate, or not quite affirmations. And then for each card comes with a substantial amount of information. So you get like about a page, I would say a page and a half of actual information about the card, because once you take into account like the blank space and then the picture and the large type at the top of like the header for each card, you get about a page and a half of text. And it's very like it's involved. This looks like it's going to be like, this is honestly, you guys, this seems like kind of an advanced deck, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but this is going to involve some study, because it's saying like you have to use it, the Oracle of the East and the Oracle of the Center, like, because I guess it depends on where the card shows up in the spread. Like that's what it means. So that is going to be really interesting to see how that works out. But anyway, on to the cards themselves. And like I said, this is the spread paper. It is paper, and it does feel like, it feels a little bit thicker than copy paper, and it does have like a nice luxurious grain to it, but it's one of those be very careful with it kind of a things. Like it will tear from overuse. So I think that's maybe like I would reference the images more than I would actually use the spread paper. But anyway, these are the cards. So the cards are A little bit shorter, and I would say a little bit wider than standard tarot size, but they fit nicely in the hand. I'm gripping the whole entire deck right now, and I've got like I've got tons of room to play in there. But again, I do have ginormous hands, so it's a nicely sized deck. I was actually holding it upside down. Okay, so anyway, the backs are like a maroon, burnt sienna color. In the front of the cards, it's like one of those sepia tones kind of a thing going on. So you get, let's see, that's Virgil. There's more than just John Dee in here. Edward Kelly, Faustus, Merlin, John Dee again, Roger Bacon, Copernicus is in here. Like, so, okay, so these aren't just D, like there are multiples of John Dee, but you get a whole bunch of different historical figures in here, which is actually really cool. I thought this was going to be an entire deck of John Dee from what I had heard about it. But it looks to me like you get a whole bunch of people that have, been involved in the occult and in sciences and all sorts of other cool stuff. There's John Dee again. Bacon. Raymond Lull, I think is how you pronounce his name. Copernicus. This is, Johannes Kepler, which is really cool. John Dee again as the astronomer. Galileo Galilei. We love us some Galileo. Robert Flood. Or Flood. William Lilly. So yeah, you get some really cool historical figures in here. Who else is in here? John Dee again as an astronomer. Mercator. Fun fact, the map that we all know and love of the Earth, like the flat one, not a globe, but the one that we all learn, he's the guy who like the cartographer that kind of invented the very familiar map of the world, and it was used in navigation because all of like the angles and distances pretty much between like the lines of navigation on the map were all accurate, even though the size of some of the land masses wound up not being accurate. But it's very difficult to have a completely 100% accurate 3D projection made 2D while preserving the integrity of both landmass and relative angle and distance. So he came up with a map that was navigable and safe for people to use. You've got Marco Polo. Oh, I just finished watching that series on Netflix. It was fantastic, by the way. John Dee again. Who else? Oh, Francis Drake. Hippocrates. Father of modern medicine. Creator of the Hippocratic Oath. Do no harm. John Dee again. Herodotus. And Virgil. So I skipped a few that might not be as well known, or at least some that were not as well known to me. But yeah, no, this is a really cool little oracle. I actually cannot wait to read it. Like, this is one I definitely want to read about, and I want to familiarize myself with it. At least I want to Wikipedia, anyway, the people that I'm not familiar with in this oracle before I go ahead and use it, because I feel like, unfortunately, I'm not as big of a history buff as I used to be, and I used to know a lot more about these people, and if you don't use it, you lose it. I've replaced it with knowledge of grain-free biscuits. But anyway, so it's a very small oracle. I think it's only like 30 some odd cards. What did it say? It doesn't say how many cards. Oh, 28 cards. All right, so it's a 28 card oracle, which means I think it's really only good for the 4-card spread, but the way that they have each card set up to have 4 or 5 different meanings apiece, there's actually a lot of meaning to be gleaned from this deck using the spread that they give you. So I think that'll be really interesting. And I think because I'm not familiar with how to use it, I won't do a pull from it today. Just because, like I said, I'm not, oh, you know what, it rifles really well too, if you love rifle shuffling, because the card stock is very, it's like a classic mass-produced card stock. It's a little laminated, it's definitely some kind of varnish or whatnot, and it's bendy and flexible, which means that you get a really good rifle shuffle right off the bat with it, but it's like not one of those that I would like throw on the ground and stomp on. It's definitely going to get like, be nice to it, and it'll last a long time. But yep, so there's the first shuffle and some intermingling. So yeah, definitely be nice to it, because if not, like, you're gonna get like chipping and stuff on the edges. So I probably shouldn't be rifling it, but it does rifle so nice. Rifle shuffling is life. And I'm just gonna do that. So yeah, and because of the glyph on the back, it's really hard to read reversals with this, although they did put the copyright on both the top and bottom, so if you're not paying attention, I guess it wouldn't matter too much. But you know what, I think I am going to do a single card pull with this, just so we can see what we get. Hand over hand's okay. The finish on the card has a slightly grainy feel, which I read is sometimes due to printers not letting the ink dry fully before they box the cards, but I'm not exactly sure whether or not I believe that. I would have to look into that. But yeah, okay, let's do a pull. I'll do, you know what, this one feels right. This one feels right. So, oh, we got Galileo Galilei. He is the silver astronomer. And like I said, they put the Enochian alphabet because there's something written on the edge of the cards. I'm not about to decipher that right now. I will at some point, and I'll probably put it in the comments. But let's see. So we've got the silver astronomer. So there's astrologers, physicians, historians, astrologer, alchemist, mage, where's the astronomers? Come on now. Alchemist, astronomer. Okay, so we have the silver astronomer. So this is organized a little weird, actually. Okay, so Galileo Galilei stands as the silver astronomer. His landmark improvements of the earliest telescope and his recognition of the phases of Venus and the 4 larger moons of Jupiter make him a central figure in the history of science. His work on heliocentrism earned him accusations of heresy, and he spent the last quarter of his life under house arrest, where he wrote several key books. In the Oracle, Galileo represents a deepening awareness of perception that enables you to see to the heart of an issue. So, just as a general meaning, I guess, let's see. So they've got him as the Oracle of the West, North, Center, South, and East. But I see where it's a deepening awareness and a perception that enables you to see to the heart of an issue. I guess, yeah, this is just, you know, time to widen your horizons and take a deeper look. I think this is an apt card for somebody who isn't too familiar with the subject matter in this book and who is just starting out. This is like a time to study and time to learn and time to change your perceptions of some things and time to broaden your horizons, which I think is an amazing card to pull for this deck and this subject matter and this person. And honestly, I cannot wait to jump in. So I'm super happy now that it's open and I get to play with it and I don't have to wait anymore. And Chase, thank you so much. This is such an amazing deck, and for somebody who loves to nerd out about this stuff, this is like amazing. I can't wait to become a little more proficient in it, so that way I can nerd out with you and be like, oh my god, this deck is so amazing. But I got an amazing first pull off of it. It has some really cool little things to go with it, like this, like I said, the spread paper. Let me spread it out for you, actually. Yeah, so it's a big spread paper. It gives you a big version and a little version to reference. But like I said, again, I'm probably not going to use the paper too much because I like keeping my sets in at least near mint condition, even if the cards are not. The rest of the material gets to be good. But I cannot wait to read about all these awesome historical figures, and I cannot wait to read with this deck. But anyway, thank you guys for watching me do this unboxing, and Chase, again, thank you so much. I am truly humbled that I never win anything, so I was very surprised, and thank you so much, and I will see you guys later. Have a good evening, Terra Sphere.